Now let's move on to the display palettes. Display palettes can change the way objects are displayed based on some of their attributes and their combination. I'll use the value limits attribute to demonstrate this feature. On the first tab of the configuration dialog, I'll show you in a while, you can set 4 limits: very high, high, low, and very low limit for the value, for the IO tag. Based on these 4 limits, the incoming value will be in one of 5 states: above the high value, very high value, above high level, normal, below low level, and below very low level. We'll set these limits to 40,000, 30,000, 20,000, and 10,000 for our Modbus input IO tags. Then we will define a display palette which will set the background color based on value limits. It will go from dark blue through light blue for very low and low limit. If the value is in limits, the background will not be modified, and then it will go through light red and dark red. As a bonus, we will change both background color and text color to darker gray and light green if a mouse is hovering over the text. So let me go to the menu configuration of graphic editor and go to display palette, and let's create a new palette. Let's call it, for example, Modbus palette. Okay, you can see again there is a suffix pal for this. I'll create four more rows, and let's say that if the value is in limits, I won't change anything. Actually, this row is not necessary as I don't change anything. For very low limit, let the background be dark blue. Let's say this one. For the low limit, let it be lighter blue. For the high limit, let it be lighter red, and for the very high limit, let it be dark red. Okay, I can save my palette. Now I'll connect this palette to my text here. I can do it here in palette, or I can do it this way. I will select all the text, and I will also select the graph. Sorry. I will click. I want to select multiple change of palette, and I will connect my palette. Okay, so I should be here. It's connected everywhere. Now I can save the picture. And look what is here. So I can see that the values of IO tags are displayed in red, so something already works. However, it's always red, and I'm not getting any blue, which is also very natural because I have not configured the limits for my IO tags. So let's look at my IO tag. When I right-click the value, the IO tag, I can display the value, and you see the value in D2000 is not about the number itself, but it has many status flags, and it has of course a timestamp. It has some user flags. So, and also you can see that it is in a very high limit. Why is it so? when I edit the tag, I can see that the predefined limits when I created it are 100 for high and very high limit and 0 for low and very low. So let's change them to, I said 40,000, 30,000, 20,000 and 10,000. Okay. Now, yeah, I got light red, light blue for low limit. Then I will get no color when the value is in limits, and I get light red when we are over high limit, and dark red where we are over very high limit. So it works for my first I/O tag. What I can do is this. Let me again modify the columns and display the very low, very high, high, low and very low values for all objects. I could edit individual 9 objects and again change the values to 40,000, but that's not what I have to do. There is a chance or possibility to modify multiple objects at once. I will select the filter and I will select only my Modbus client object by specifying mask, matching the name. And here I can click and set the value. So 40,000 is what I need. The values are colored in red, so this is what we will be changing. Again, I will set it to 30,000, to 20,000, and to 10,000. Okay, so the values of the limits are colored in red because we will be modifying them. And there is a mass update dialog icon here, so I can check again. I want to modify very high limit to 40,000, high limit to 30,000, low to 20,000, very low 10,000. Let's do it. Okay. So the data has been modified and saved into the configuration database. So this was how you can modify multiple objects and set the values for some attributes in our tool. So now that we have modified the high limit, very high limit, low and very low limit, we can go back to the human interface and observe as the values are changing from dark blue to light blue, and no color for in limit values, and again they will go to from light red to dark red. Of course, if I wanted, I could specify individual limits for every I/O tag, and I could create multiple palettes and apply them. Let's get back to display palettes and let's do the bonus thing. So I will modify the display palette and I will add another option and add the hover effect. And when the mouse is hovering over the text, I want the background to be darker gray and the text to be light green, for example. Okay, I'll save it. Did I save it? Close the window, reopen it, and here we are. I can also apply this effect to my button. Here it is. However, the palettes are evaluated only when an object is connected. So I have to connect some object, for example, the local variable I that I created previously. although I don't need it, but for the palette to work, I need an object. Yes, so you see, when I'm moving over the objects, also I could apply it to this row. Yes, naturally. So again, I have to connect the palette, and I don't know, I have to specify anything here because I already have eye connected here. Okay, let's save it. And so I can do such simple animations without doing any programming. As we have some time left, let's resize this main picture and let's add another button. This time let it be called history, and let's change the control actions to history action, and let's save it. What happened? When we click the history button, I can specify an interval. So let's say 1500 to 1555. Okay, and now my values are gonna move. I can move through the history. Now I'm 1555. I can go a few minutes backward. I can move to the next change of any object. So I change the picture to display not the real time, but I can control the time, or I can look at the values how they were in the past. Of course, I need the values to be in the archive for this to work. When I close this, my picture is again in the real-time mode, and it's displaying the current values of the objects, of the IO tags and historical values and so on. Well, this is the end of my presentation. However, I sincerely hope it is not an end of your work with IPES of the 2000 system. Quite the opposite, it should be the beginning of your exploration of the 2000 system. Please bear in mind that what I showed you today is just a small fragment of the 2000 capabilities. So don't hesitate to use our online documentation, and if you can't find the answer here, you can contact us via email or ask on our community forum.